What if everything you thought you knew about Latino heritage was only half the story? Let's uncover the hidden threads between Islam and Latino identity that stretch back over 1,000 years. The concept introduced in the heading Introduction to Latino Heritage and Islam explores the intersection of Latino cultural identity and Islamic faith, delving into historical narratives often overlooked. Latino heritage, rich in diverse influences from indigenous, African, and European cultures, shares a unique intersection with Islam, stemming from the Islamic presence in the Iberian Peninsula prior to the colonization of the Americas. Islam's influence in Spain lasted for over 700 years, leaving an indelible mark on Spanish culture, and by extension, the Latino heritage through language, architecture, and societal customs. This connection deepens with the presence of Muslims in Latin America, who contribute to the pluralism within Latino cultural identity. Understanding this intersection is significant as it broadens the narrative of Latino heritage by incorporating the historical depth and cultural diversity of Islamic influences. Recognizing shared roots fosters a more inclusive perspective on identity and community dynamics within both Latino and Muslim populations. It resonates amid growing cultural exchanges and migration patterns, reflecting the complexity of religious and ethnic identities today. One example illustrating this shared history is the existence of Morisco descendants in Latin American countries. The Moriscos, Muslims forcibly converted to Christianity during the Spanish Reconquista, carried elements of Islamic culture with them when they migrated to the Americas. This cultural legacy subtly persists in some regional traditions, culinary practices, and even in folklore. Another example is the contemporary Latino Muslim community, which includes various converts who find resonance between their cultural heritage and Islamic beliefs, thus weaving new cultural narratives that embrace both identities, fostering understanding and community cohesion. Now, before we dive deeper into this incredible shared history, let's take a quick moment. If you're enjoying this content and believe these untold stories matter, show some love, hit the like button, drop a comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. And hey, if you know someone who would be inspired by this historical connection between Latino culture and Islam, feel free to share this video with them. It really helps us spread the message and grow this community. Also, let me share something I truly enjoy year-round: Julie's organic whole medjool dates. They're naturally sweet, packed with nutrients, and perfect in smoothies, desserts, or just as a healthy snack. Check out the link in the description to grab yours and support the channel at the same time. Now let's get back to these fascinating cultural stories. Some scholars and cultural commentators highlight the potential for enriched intercultural dialogue that this shared history provides, asserting that it serves as a bridge promoting mutual understanding and respect across communities. However, challenges and controversies arise around this topic, particularly concerning historical narratives that might be romanticized or overlooked due to colonial histories and religious tensions. Some critics argue that focusing on Islamic elements could dilute the distinct features of Latino cultural identity, while others highlight the complexity of reclaiming accurate historical representations. This intersection influences broader discussions on identity within the main topic by highlighting the diverse tapestries that form cultural heritage. It challenges monolithic perceptions of either identity and encourages a nuanced understanding that appreciates diversity within perceived boundaries. By tracing these connections, we gain insights into the historical and contemporary dynamics shaping Latino and Muslim communities, promoting a dialogue enriched by shared heritage and diverse cultural expressions. Historical interactions between Muslim and Hispanic cultures have roots that span centuries and continents, creating a rich tapestry of shared history. This concept revolves around the intricate blend of cultures that emerged from the intersections of the Islamic world and Hispanic societies, particularly during the period of Al-Andalus, the Muslim-ruled territory in what is now Spain and Portugal. From 711 to 1492, Al-Andalus served as a melting pot where Islamic, Christian, and Jewish cultures coexisted, producing a legacy of mutual influence in architecture, language, science, and philosophy. The significance of this historical intersection is profound, highlighting a period where knowledge and cultural exchange flourished. It paints a picture of a time when diverse groups contributed to advancements in mathematics, medicine, and the arts, many of which laid the groundwork for the Renaissance. Understanding this shared history illuminates the deep connections between Latino and Muslim heritages, underscoring the diversity within each culture and their contributions to global civilization. Two vivid examples illustrate this interaction. First, the architectural marvels of Andalusian cities like Córdoba and Granada, epitomized by the Great Mosque of Córdoba and the Alhambra, demonstrate the sophisticated synthesis of Islamic and local influences, inspiring countless generations of architects worldwide. Second, the Spanish language itself retains countless words of Arabic origin, such as almohada, pillow, and aceituna, olive, a testament to the significant linguistic impact of Muslim rule on the Iberian Peninsula. Supporters of this shared history often highlight how it challenges contemporary narratives that depict Muslim and Hispanic identities as separate or opposed. They argue that acknowledging this intertwined past can foster greater cross-cultural understanding and solidarity. However, this concept is not without its challenges. Some might contest the romanticized notion of harmony, pointing out underlying tensions and conflicts during that era, including periods of religious persecution and social stratification. There's also the complexity of reconciling modern nationalistic narratives with a history of cultural interdependence. This historical interaction influences today's cultural dialogues, reminding us of the potential for enrichment through diversity and the blending of traditions. It challenges us to look beyond simplistic definitions of identity and encourages an appreciation for the layered, multifaceted nature of cultural heritage. In exploring Latino heritage in Islam, recognizing these historical interactions invites a broader reflection on how shared histories can promote unity and respect in multicultural societies. The heading Islamic Influence in Spain and the Iberian Peninsula refers to the profound and lasting impact of Islamic culture, governance, and thought during the period of Moorish rule from 711 to 1492. This era, known as Al-Andalus, saw the Iberian Peninsula become a vibrant center of learning, commerce, and cultural synthesis. The Islamic presence introduced innovative agricultural techniques, new scientific knowledge, and architectural wonders, significantly shaping the region's development. This point is vital to the broader topic of Latino heritage and Islam, a shared history, as it underscores the foundational role that Islamic culture played in the formation of Spanish and, by extension, Latino heritage. The historical ties forged during this era laid the groundwork for cultural exchanges that influence Latino communities today. The period of Islamic rule helped foster a vibrant, multicultural society that integrated various ethnic and religious groups, setting a precedent for the diverse, multicultural landscape many Latino populations celebrate today. Two specific examples highlight this influence. First, the architecture of southern Spain, especially structures like the Alhambra in Granada, showcases the unique Islamic aesthetic that merges art and functionality in ways that have inspired subsequent architectural design. Second, the intellectual legacy, exemplified by scholars such as Averroes and Maimonides, led to the preservation and advancement of classical knowledge, which would later fuel the European Renaissance. These contributions facilitated the flow of ideas between the Islamic world, Europe, and eventually the Americas. Supporters of this idea argue that recognizing the Islamic influence on Latino heritage provides a deeper understanding of the interconnectedness of human cultures, celebrating diversity and shared history. However, this narrative does face challenges. Some critics argue that emphasizing Islamic contributions can overlook the complex dynamics of conquest and conflict during this period. Additionally, there can be resistance in acknowledging the influence of a non-Christian faith on what is predominantly seen as a Christian-derived culture. Despite these challenges, the Islamic influence in Spain connects directly to the broader Latino heritage by affecting language, cuisine, and cultural traditions that were carried to the New World. The syncretic blend of traditions in areas like art, music, and folklore in Latino cultures today often reflect the historical confluence of Islamic, Christian, and indigenous elements. Recognizing this influence not only enriches our understanding of history, but also fosters a deeper appreciation for the diverse roots of modern Latino identity, promoting a more inclusive narrative of cultural development. The impact of the Moors on Latino culture is a fascinating aspect of history that underscores the intercultural exchanges between Islamic civilization and regions that later became part of Latino heritage. The Moors, primarily Muslim inhabitants of the Maghreb, the Iberian Peninsula, Sicily, and Malta during the Middle Ages, played a critical role in shaping the cultural landscape of what is now Spain and Portugal. Their influence, stemming from an almost 800-year presence in the Iberian Peninsula, injected profound changes in architecture, language, science, and the arts, significantly contributing to the Latin culture we recognize today. Understanding this impact reveals the significance of the Islamic culture as a foundational element in Latino heritage. The Moors introduced advanced agricultural techniques, sophisticated architectural styles, and a rich intellectual tradition that spurred progress in various academic disciplines. As a result, several Spanish words have Arabic origins, and stunning architectural pieces like the Alhambra in Granada are testaments to this blended legacy, influencing architectural aesthetics throughout the Spanish-speaking world. One practical example is the introduction of crops such as rice, citrus fruits, and certain spices to the Iberian Peninsula by the Moors, which are now staple ingredients in Spanish and thus in broader Latino culinary traditions. Another illustration is the architectural heritage left by the Moors, seen in the distinctive horseshoe arches, intricate tilework, and courtyards that are often emulated in Latin American designs. Opinions supporting the Moors' influence highlight the vital cultural and technological advancements attributed to their presence, often regarded as a catalyst for the European Renaissance. However, this perspective is not without controversy. Some historians argue that emphasizing Moorish contributions can be seen as downplaying other cultural dynamics or oversimplifying the complex history of cultural interchanges. Others might raise concerns about how Islamic influence is perceived amidst contemporary socio-political climates. This point bridges to other aspects of the main topic, such as how the fusion of cultural identities and religious practices has contributed to the varied and rich tapestry of Latino heritage. It highlights the intersections of history, religion, and identity, illustrating how Muslim contributions continue to be a vital element of Latino historical narratives. Understanding this shared history can foster greater appreciation and dialogue about the interconnectedness of cultural developments and religious influences that have shaped societies worldwide.